Welcome to Stay Sharp in Digital Engineering, your trusted guide to navigating the future of digital innovation in products and manufacturing. In this episode of Stay Sharp, Jonathan Scott and I changed things up a little bit with an event recap. We welcomed in Milan Obradovic to help discuss the highlights from the recent Aras ACE 2025 event held in Boston recently, where they celebrated their 25th anniversary. We'll take you through some of the event highlights, including developments in their partner program, new industry partnerships, and exciting product news. Let's tune in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stay Sharp, the podcast about all things digital engineering related. And I am one of your co-hosts of the podcast, Jonathan Scott. And today I'm joined by Juliann Grant and Milan Obradovic.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And we're here to talk about something interesting and a little bit special today, not your normal full-length episode, but we wanted to dig in a little bit to ACE 2025. That's the Aras community event. And so Juliann and Milan both attended the event this past week, and we wanted to just dig into what came out of the event. What were the highlights? What got brought up? What got discussed? What got introduced? That sort of thing. And we've got a few topics we want to just hit on. And if you've got questions or comments about it after the episode, we hope you'll hit us up and ask more. So with that, let's just jump right in. When was the event? Yeah, go ahead, Juliann.
Yeah, so before we jump real quick in, I just want to make sure we duly introduce Milan. He hasn't been on the podcast yet, and there may be some people out there who aren't familiar with Milan. So Milan is our AE for our Aras business and quite knowledgeable on the Aras product, Aras Innovator platform. So it's always good to have Milan here. And he also runs a Tech Tuesday webinar series that really digs into the technology and some of the applications and has a whole number of demos. So anyone who wants any more information about Aras Innovator, Milan is the person. So I'll make sure we covered Milan first before we jumped into it. But yeah, so this week we just got back from Boston at the Aras ACE 2025, which was a pretty big year for them because this was their 25th anniversary celebration. So what's nice about that is, when we think about Razorleaf, we've been really partnering with Aras since Aras Innovator was launched. I want to say, how many years ago was that?
Yeah, I was just going to say my memory isn't that good. I was around. I think
it was at least, 10, 15 years ago-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride.
It has been. So it was especially nice for us because we could really relate to all the accomplishments that Aras has really done over the years in the past 25 years for this celebration event.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it because I like you were just mentioning, Juliann, I was around at the beginning of our relationship and it was pretty exciting. I mean, I think Aras has brought a lot of excitement to the PLM industry with a different approach. I remember back in the day, I was getting started with Mark Lind. I think the first webinar we did was talking about open source, right? And that was a crazy idea in the PLM space. So yeah, I imagine there was a lot of interest looking back on 25 years.
It was a super exciting event for me because I'm relatively new to the PLM space. I've really been around for about 3.5, 4 years now. And it was really fun to see all the history of Aras, where Aras came from, what their intent was coming into the industry. And the closing event had a really fun quote that I like to come back to. As a younger person, try to drive excitement about PLM and make it cool. Peter Schroer had a great quote of how, Aras really didn't have the recognition until someone wrote an article trying to insult the company and just refer to them as the punks of Andover. And it made them seem like, wow, I'm a punk rock PLM guy too, and kind of drove the excitement to, leave the event and, continue to learn more and drive the innovation that they've been pushing. But yeah, all the new things that they've been introducing in the last couple of years, it seems like they're just speeding up on that innovative, trend and releasing a lot of new applications. So, I was super excited about that. And I was really excited to hear your guys' feedback, being along for a lot of the ride as well, and continue to learn more.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you think about Aras, they really have been the disruptor in this marketplace. I mean, I think, I was at an event a week or so ago for the Sim Data PLM market industry update where they reveal all the revenue numbers about the market and the market growth, which is good news is PLM's growing and there's some really strong growth metrics they were sharing. But what was also interesting was, Aras in the past never really made some of those slides in terms of revenue because some of the bigger OEMs like Dassault and Siemens and PTC take up such more, a bigger portion of the revenue share there. But this year they had their spot, and I was really happy to see that. And I'm interested to see, I think this year in particular will be revealing in how they continue to disrupt the market, how they continue to try to displace some of the existing platforms because of their openness, because of the innovative technology that they've developed with Aras Innovator.
Yeah, I love out of that, Milan, the image part, right? The punk image. And it matches what you said, Juliann, right? They're kind of the upstart, right? And showing up on the scene and now getting some of that recognition, but trying to keep that punk image. And I agree. I appreciate that about our work with them is they keep things fresh. They keep driving things forward, and it makes them look like that upstart.
Yeah, I mean, Peter is definitely legendary in that business, and I think it's always good to see him. What was nice about the 25th, there was several of the previous employees and previous managers that all came out to the event and, shared in some of that celebration. So that was nice. And we even had Peter on our podcast a while ago. We had a nice interview with him. So he always has a very fresh perspective of PLM, which is appreciated. But now under Rocky's leadership, I think he's really driving the business forward in a new way. And one of the things that I want to mention is they're going to be really working on their partner program in the next 12 to 24 months. I know they hired Don Cooper, who was from PTC, and he was at the partner meeting, which was held on the first day. And he really laid out a nice vision for the partner program that we haven't really seen before. So, I think that they've been wanting to dig into the partner program and wanting to do more, but I just think they didn't have the right infrastructure, the right folks leading that charge. And now I think Don's going to be that person to do that. So very promising conversation with him. Seems very realistic and down to earth, which we all appreciate. I know Eric Smith had a really good conversation with Don. So I'm optimistic about where that program's going to go.
Yeah, and one thing to note about Don, fellow Boilermaker. So if they got a Boilermaker at the helm, I'm sure we're going in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah, and one of the nice pieces of news that came out of the partner meeting was a surprise to all of us that we were sitting there and they were going through some of the announcements that Razorleaf received the Partner of the Year award. So that was quite a nice perk for us, as we were very surprised at that, but appreciated that recognition.
Yeah, that's always nice. We've been, as we talked about earlier, been working with them for years. So it's nice to be recognized for the value we're adding in that community.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So what else did they cover, Milan? What were some other things we had going there?
Yeah. So, I mean, a big thing came out of, Rocky's keynote presentation. They keep that punk rock attitude. Rocky's going on stage to rock and roll music. But a key point of the keynote presentation and a keynote that came out of that keynote was their new partnership they introduced with Sandvik. Sandvik is a tooling manufacturer, but they're starting to get into the digital space and getting into the software business really. And one thing that Aras is looking to partner on them with is their manufacturing machining solutions, which didn't really expose too much of the direction of how that's going to impact Aras PLM, but I think it's a pretty big note on the industry is, a lot of these, not necessarily software companies, starting to get into software and build relationships with companies like Aras and other PLM systems. And I think it's an interesting note. And I think it's something that is definitely something to keep an eye on over the next couple of years.
I agree, Milan. I think that kind of tie-up, like you said, we're starting to see that. And it looks a little odd at first, and then you see the strategy get laid out more, right? And this is just an introduction of that. But when we see things like Rockwell Automation getting involved with PTC and purchasing Calypso, okay, wait a minute. I thought these guys made PLCs, but suddenly they're in the PLM space. You see other things like Hexagon, Hexagon worked in a certain area in engineering and manufacturing, but then suddenly they're buying up PLM and MCAD tool players, and you're like, that's interesting. So I look at this one in a similar way, and I say, well, Aras has had some interesting tie-ups with other folks doing things like simulation data management, doing things like MRO, being OEM'd as a PLM tool for an ERP vendor, all kinds of things. But you start to see that blend. And with Sandvik, I'm very interested to see what does this turn into, right? Because there's a lot of need for managing manufacturing data when you talk about digital twin. So it'll be fun to watch this one.
Yeah, I'm always excited for whatever new product could be introduced. And handling that manufacturing data is a common ask that we see in our own sort of subscriber community as well. So, providing that solution could be something that could help a lot of people in the future.
Absolutely. And I think too, what we saw a little bit was the AVEVA partnership is also maturing as well. So they're starting to do more partner involvement and engagement as they're moving forward in this coming year. So that's good news. I think that's something we've been talking about as well. So
I should have mentioned that one, Julia. That's another great one as an example of these interesting tie-ups and what are they going to bring to the community? What are they going to bring in terms of capabilities? So it's, I think, a fun space to watch.
Absolutely. But there was some really interesting product information, product news, right, Milan?
Yeah. I was just about to get into that. There is plenty of new roadmap items and product news that was introduced at the conference. And a big focus that they mentioned was the new InnovatorEdge platform. So funny enough, this was something that was thrown at me during my last Tech Tuesday last week by a member of the community. And, I was like, InnovatorEdge, this is new to me. And my best answer to that question was, we'll hear about it at ACE. And sure, we did. It was a major focus of the conference. And really, what is InnovatorEdge? So it is a low-code API management framework. And, for some of you that may mean a ton, for others it might not. So if those of you familiar with Aras Innovator, if you've worked with the configurable web services tool, I would say it's almost like a CWS 2.0. So it's expanding on the functionality that Aras released with the configurable web service. So, drag and drop item types, expose new properties. And once you have all of that exposed, push it out with an API key and expose it to other data systems. And the Aras Labs group had a really great presentation on all the possibilities here with InnovatorEdge. So, creating these sort of micro apps to expose data to the shop floor or allow maintenance users to go out in the field and track all their appointments and all the materials they need and gather all that from PLM, but have it exposed in an application you can just open on your phone versus, a full rich web-based client, which was really cool. And there's also a big focus on AI and how AI could be used with either InnovatorEdge or just within the platform itself. So there's a really, really nifty demonstration that I'm looking to replicate.
AI certainly was the topic of the day for sure. There was a lot of interesting examples of how we could be applying AI on that platform.
Yeah. If InnovatorEdge was 1A, AI was 1B in terms of topic at the event.
Yes, for sure.
So not just using AI with Edge to drive AI workflows and provide those AI workflows with PLM data, but also just having AI as a productivity tool within PLM. So, adding the ability for natural language searching of your PLM database. So using AI to enhance search capabilities that are already there within Innovator. So if I wanted to say find all parts with 3 bolts on them, the AI search engine would be able to find all those assemblies that have 3 bolts, which is just really speeding up adoption, allowing people to get more comfortable using the system and find the data that they need.
What I love about that, Milan, is we talk about this in other episodes of the podcast. What's the use case, right? We all hear about AI and PLM and AI and everything in our lives these days, but to hear the concrete use case and to hear that somebody's putting it in place, right? That's really helpful because now we get that concrete idea of how it's going to help.
Yeah. And on top of that, to continue with the adoption point, Aras is also introducing an AI assistant to help users get around the system. So, allowing you to provide those specific sources of knowledge that are specific to your environment. So either the Aras specific training manuals or maybe some custom documentation for a custom app you built on the platform. Through the AI assistant, you could ask simple questions and it'll direct you through the table of contents and all of the various navigation tools within Innovator to get you to exactly where you need to be, which is, I think, incredibly powerful. I spent some time with the guys in the demo room, Tim Keir and Dave McDonnell, and kind of poked at that AI assistant a little bit. And, me personally, I'm very curious and I try to push it to the absolute limit. And it stood up to all my rigorous testing. So very excited about that AI assistant.
Yeah, it's interesting, John, because we've been we just had a conversation about agentic AI and, how that's going to really start adapting in the different application platforms that everybody uses on a daily basis. And for those who use PLM, I'm sure those kinds of tasks and searching for information would be one of those things. So,
yeah, definitely. And not to gravel on too long about some exciting product news. I'm sure we're going to touch on a lot of this in the next Tech Tuesday, but just some other things that are trying to modernize the platform and get it more in line with the rest of the software space. So keep an eye out for some new UI and user experience enhancements within PLM, within Aras Innovator, as well as updates to the Office connector as well. So keep an eye out for not only being able to use the Office connector on your desktop Word and Office applications, but there's also some really cool SharePoint integrations coming out there too. And one final note for all of our Aras community users and community edition users, I was able to pull the information out that a 2025 release is confirmed later this year. So some super exciting news on the Aras front there.
Nice.
Great. Yeah, all in all, it was a great week. Props to Beth Ewing, who always puts on an incredible event. She did a great job. And the whole marketing team as well. Josh Epstein, you can see his mark really, him developing his own spin on the messaging around for Aras and Aras Innovator. So it's nice to see. It's a nice evolution.
Sounds like it was a great event. I'm glad that you guys were there and hearing it firsthand, along with others on our team, to be able to come back and sort of tell us and share with the rest of us what went on. I'm pretty excited by some of the things that you were just talking about, Milan, product-wise, that are coming in the platform. So, no, that's great. So thank you both for taking some time out. I know this is a little different format than our typical podcast, but hopefully this is useful to folks, and everybody enjoyed learning a little bit about what went on, what got announced, what got talked about. And please do follow up with us. Ask us follow-up questions, anything that you wish we'd talked about or want us to talk about it related to some of the events we attend. We're happy to hear that feedback, and anything on our podcast in general. But for Juliann, for Milan, and myself, I'll say thanks, everybody, and stay sharp.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here and listening to this episode of Stay Sharp with Razorleaf. If you like this podcast, please be sure to hit the like button or subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast platform or on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, just leave us a comment or send us an email to podcast@razorleaf.com. Till next time, everybody, stay sharp.